Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. Today we're talking about The House, starring Will Ferrell and chick from Saturday Night Live whose name I can't remember. So what do I think of The House? It seems like this is a period where I'm seeing a lot of movies that are a series of uneventful and unnecessary events. Because The House is another movie that just really is uneventful, didn't need to exist, isn't overly funny, and just why? And I do say it's not overly funny because there were a couple parts I semi-chuckled at. There were a few parts that the overall stupidity of the comedy of it made me smile because of how dumb it was. But nothing really like gut-busting laughter or anything like that. So what is The House about? It's about these parents who have a daughter who is about to graduate and go off to college, and they think they're going to be getting a scholarship from the township to help with the college bills, and they're told in the community meeting that they're not getting the scholarship because the funding is being redirected into the community pool. And, Will Ferrell's character's kind of like, well, we were counting on that. You guys told us we were going to have it, and now we don't. And they kind of make them look like the assholes by saying, well, should we give the money to you, who it only benefits you and your family, or should we give it to the community pool, which benefits everyone? Which, of course, kind of makes sense, but then you find out later in the film that the whole reason that the scholarship money isn't there isn't because of the pool, it's because, spoiler by the way, the mayor or whatever he is embezzled the money from the treasury to buy the treasurer, who he's secretly having an affair with, a bunch of gifts and wants to take her on vacation and all this. And even she says that, enough is enough, we can't keep stealing this money, what about that poor family? And the councilman's just kind of a dick and he's like, I don't care. So basically the thing comes down to Will Ferrell and girl from Saturday Night Live can't afford to pay to send their daughter to college. So their friend convinces them to take a vacation in Vegas, and he's on this winning streak, so they're kind of betting money and he's winning. And it gets to the point where all he has to do is roll one more hand and they'll have enough to cover their daughter's entire college tuition. Instead of just cutting it right there, being like, hey, we got enough to cover like half of it. We can come up with the other half over the course of a couple of years. Let's just cut our losses and run. No, they say, okay, well, let's see if we can get all of it. And, of course, the last roll on craps is the one where he loses all the money. So they go back home, right back where they started. No money, no way to send her to college. And the friend comes up with the idea like, the one thing they say about Vegas is the house always wins. So what if we were the house? And they're like, what do you mean? He goes, why don't we just set up our own casino? We can invite people from around town that we know we can trust that aren't going to squeal about it. They can come in, gamble for real money. They'll win a little bit, they'll lose a lot, and in the end, we end up being the ones that win. We'll split the money 50-50. I get half of it, you guys get the other half to pay for your daughter to go to college. They're kind of iffy about it at first, but finally decide, let's try it, see what happens. Worst it's going to do is we end up back where we are. And it works out. And, of course, the friend, being the smarter guy that he is, says, you have to reinvest a little bit of the money back into the casino, so we're going to get some upgraded equipment, different tables, slot machines, this, that, and the other. And he puts a little bit of money into stuff, so it cuts down on a little bit of their profits, but at the same time, more people come in because they have more stuff going on now. And at one point, one of the guys wins quite a bit of money. Like, well, how far does that set us back? And he's like, really, it doesn't, because what's going to happen now that people saw that he won is they're going to think, oh, you can actually win here, and they're going to come and bet, and they're going to lose, and he thinks he can win here, so he's going to bring back all that money he just made, gamble it again, and end up losing it. So again, the house wins. So things are going steady for a while, and they're just about up to the point where they have all the money they need to send her to college, but then the congressman finds out that the casino's going on. So he goes in, shuts him down, and confiscates all the money, which he has no legal right to do. The police station could technically confiscate it for running an illegal casino, but the congressman's like, well, no, I'm going to take all the money and put it into the pool fund, which he has no legal right to do, I don't believe, but he does it anyway. So then they decide they're going to break into his office and steal the money back because he's a dick anyway. And around this time, the police officer agrees to start helping them because he thinks that the congressman's a dick as well, and doesn't really like him and likes them better. So they break in, and the congressman catches them. And over the course of events, he admits that, he took all their money and he embezzled the other money. And they kind of point out, well, we got you on camera saying this because you're in the middle of the city council, which has security cameras. So he freaks out and runs, and the sheriff goes to arrest him. I don't think they got all the money back, or maybe they did. I think they did manage to get away with the money. So they're able to pay for their daughter to go to college, and it's never really said if they reestablished the casino or not. But by the end, they're still pretty well off, so maybe they did. But their daughter gets to go to college, and they just go about their lives without her. And that's about it. I mean, there's a lot more that happens in the movie, but that's the summation of it without spoiling too much. Like I said, there is some stuff that sort of made me chuckle in it. There's a couple parts I smiled at because of just how dumb it was. But what would I give it overall as far as a star rating? Like I said, it's, again, a kind of uneventful, unnecessary film, and it's not super funny, mostly because I'm not really a huge fan of Will Ferrell. Like, I like some of his movies, and occasionally he can be really funny, but a lot of times it seems like he's trying really hard and doing that Jim Carrey type of over-exaggeration thing to try and be funny, and a lot of it just falls flat with me. I don't really find it funny. Same thing with a lot of the people that are currently on the cast of Saturday Night Live. I just don't find a lot of them funny. Never really have, like, ever since the late 80s, early 90s, I haven't really found Saturday Night Live to be that funny at all. So a lot of the people coming out of Saturday Night Live, going into films, and trying to do their comedy, I'm just not really enjoying it because I don't find them funny in the first place. So what would I give this one as far as a star rating? Again, I'd probably have to give this one a 2.5, I guess. And again, it's mostly just because I don't really find the characters all that funny to begin with, and the movie was just kind of pointless and uneventful and didn't need to happen. Were there a couple funny parts in it? Yeah, but it's not enough to make up for it. So, yeah, it gets a 2.5. You know, if you like Will Ferrell, you like the Saturday Night Live people, check it out. Maybe you'll get more of a laugh out of it than I did. But for me, it's just kind of more people overacting to try and be funny, and it's just not. So that's it for this episode. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are down in the description. Click the bell up here in the corner. Make sure you get notifications every time I post new content. Until next time, I'll see you after the credits.